p.m. just prior to our monthly meeting. This session addresses any amateur radio questions that you might have. So whether you're new to amateur radio or interested in some new application of amateur radio, this is a session where you can get help. Also, every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m., except the third Wednesday when our monthly meeting is held, there's a learning net held on 145.490 megahertz and 448.625 megahertz. This is another area where you can find answers for your amateur radio-related questions. As a general interest club, we provide emergency communication for the Salvation Army, City of Wheat Ridge Police Department, City of Lakewood Police Department, West Metro Fire District, and St. Anthony's West Hospital. Always looking for members who would like to participate in this support. Please contact our club president if you'd like to help. Our current president is Jerry Vilhauer, W0JV. Jerry's telephone number is 303-467-0223. Denver Radio Club website address is www.W0TX.org. Again, Jerry's telephone number is 303-467-0223. The Denver Radio Club also participates in the ARRL Volunteer Examiner Program. But again, with the COVID-19, with the restrictions that we have to find space to hold the testing where we have enough separation for those taking tests, and so we don't have as frequent as test opportunities as usually we would. Try to put that information out on the net here, and also it's identified on our club website, and so you can get that at the W0TX.org. If you have some other questions in regards to testing, you can contact our VE lead, Tom Koszowski, and Tom's call sign is KC2CHE. His telephone number is 720-284-1911. This is the Denver Radio Club Net, W0TX, and this is K0TUR serving as net control. Are there any special announcements or bulletins for the net this evening? If so, please call now.
N0ETV, brief announcement.
N0DBS.
And N0ETV, Lance, I got you checked in. Go ahead with yours, and N0DBS, if you'd stand by a minute. Go ahead, Lance.
N0ETV, good evening, gentlemen. The Mile High VE team is going to resume testing Saturday, March 13th at HRO. Reservation is required, and you can make contact through either the ARRL website, or you can contact the team leader directly at 720-787-9842. Thanks. Back to net control.
All right, thanks, Lance. We do appreciate that. And N0DBS, go ahead with your traffic.
thank you. This is to notify people that the Patriot team, VE team, is conducting sessions throughout the city and even as far as Pueblo. To sign up, go to hamstudy.org/sessions/W0PCT. Thank you. Back to Ned.
All right. Thank you for that, Don. And make one more call. Any other special announcements or bulletins for the net, please call now.
W0TX repeater.
KA0 VBA.
K0 DBA. Go ahead, Curtis.
Kilo Alpha 0 Victor Bravo Alpha. We're going to be going over some stuff this week that we went over last week to review technical things that need to be covered twice. So, 7 o'clock Tuesday on Zoom. The Zoom ID is 303-424-7373 by K0VBA.
All right. Thank you for that, Curtis. And we got you checked in as well. Before I move on, let me make sure anyone else with any special announcements or bulletins for the net. If so, please call now. All right, before regular check-ins, I'd like to welcome and invite any visiting radio amateurs to check into the Denver Radio Club net this evening. During this net, we disable the requirement for the 100 Hz PO repeater access tone, so you can use either 145.490 megahertz with a minus 600 kilohertz offset, or 448.625 megahertz with a minus 5 megahertz offset. Are any visiting radio amateurs like to check into the Denver Radio Club net tonight? If so, please call now.
KC0EFN, Dave in Aurora.
And Net Control, I'd like to acknowledge and welcome the following check-in. KC0ESN Dave. Welcome to Net, Dave. And just curious how you found us.
Actually, I've been checking in for the last couple weeks. Going to be hopefully getting part of the club here very shortly.
Well, very good. Glad to hear that. Welcome to Net as well. Hope you can join us any Sunday evening you can. So we're pleased to have you with us. Before I move on, do we have any other visiting radio amateurs who would like to check in? Please call now. All right, next I'd like to welcome and invite any new licensed or recently upgraded radio amateurs to check in. Please call now.
W0CIB, Charles in Denver.
And WB0CIB, Charles, welcome to the net. And I assume you recently upgraded, is that true?
Let's see, I upgraded, oh gosh, I don't know.
When did the people land on the moon? It was back in there sometime.
All right. Yeah, that's been a ways back, so I understand. I was just calling for newly licensed and recently upgraded, so that's why I was wondering. No problem. Welcome to the net. Glad to have you here. I'll now take regular check-ins and groups, and please let me know if you have traffic when you check in, and I'll get back to you. First, radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin letters A through E, Alpha through Echo, please call now.
Silhouette 0, Delta Papa Romeo, call in Aurora.
Kilo Foxtrot 0, Delta Golf Echo, Andrew, Denver.
November 0, Echo Yankee Zulu, Jim, Jefferson County.
KA5 DKS, Ken in Arvada.
Whiskey Delta 6, Delta Oscar Kilo, Rich in Arvada, and I have a question when it's appropriate. And Net Control, I'd like to acknowledge and welcome the following check-ins. K0 DPR Paul, and KF0 DPE Andrew. Hope I got that right, because there was a burst of noise that came in, and I think that's what I heard. If I'm incorrect, correct me, please. And next, N0YEZ Jim, KA5 DKS Ken, and WD6DOK Rich with traffic. Make one call for radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin letters A through E, Alpha through Echo. Please call now.
Correction. That call was November 0, Echo Yankee Zulu, Jim.
Alpha Fox 0 Echo, Alex Brownfield.
And Net Control, I'd like to acknowledge and welcome the following check-ins. AF0E Alex, and Jim, I did correct that to Echo Fox Zulu. Thank you. And let me move on down the alphabet. Radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin letters F through J, Foxtrot through Juliet. Please call now. WRTX Jerry Westminster.
W0TX Repeater.
And
Kilo 0 Lima Papa Romeo Lanier in Inglewood. Good evening, Jim. Tom, K6HJV, Arvada. No traffic.
Kilo Echo Zero, Oscar Sierra India, Tom Highlands Ranch, no traffic.
Whiskey Zero, India Bravo Alpha, Eric in Hudson, no traffic.
November 0, Tango, Oscar, Echo, Dick, Littleton, no traffic.
I think I double try again. This is Whiskey Zero, Mike Delta Kilo, Matt in Denver.
Alpha Zero Juliet Kilo, AA0JK, Fred in Arvada. Good evening, no traffic.
And Net Control would like to acknowledge and welcome the following check-ins. W0GV Jerry. Then I had a double, and I thought I had an N0 come in there, but got covered up, and I was able to receive K0 LPR Lanier. And then after that, I believe I missed one completely. And the next one I was able to copy was K6HJV Tom, and then W0IBA Eric, N0TOE Dick, and W0MDK Matt, and AA0JK Fred. So if I missed you in there, I apologize for that, but with the double, I know I missed one completely, so make a second call for radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin letters F through J, Foxtrot through Julia. Please call now.
November 0, Golf Tango, Golf Kurt in Denver.
November 0, Golf Whiskey Mike, Leon in Lakewood.
Net Control would like to acknowledge and welcome the following check-ins. N0 GTG Kurt and N0 GWM Leon. Move on down the alphabet. Radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin letters K through O, Kilo through Oscar. Please call out.
Kilowatt Delta 0, Charlie Golf Fox, Kenny and Thornton with traffic.
Whiskey Zero, Lima Foxtrot, Orland and Golden, no traffic, over. Kilo Echo Zero, Oscar Sierra India, Tom Highlands Ranch, no traffic.
Zero, Mike Golf Tango, Don in Aurora, no traffic.
Kilo Zero, Kilo Papa Sierra, K0 KPS, Kevin Lakewood.
WG0N, Dave in Lakewood.
And Net Control, I'd like to acknowledge and welcome the following check-ins. First one here, I got noise in there, and I'm not sure. I believe I got KD0, question mark. I think I heard CF, and I believe the name was Kane. Could you come back and clarify that for me, please?
Yeah, sorry, I was in a hole. Call sign KD0CGF. Kenny, Kilowatt Delta 0, Charlie Golf Fox.
All right, got you good that time, Kenny. KD0CGF. Next, I had WW0LF Orland, and I believe it's KE0OSI Tom, K0MGT Don, K0LAI Larry. It was awful noisy. I don't know if I had a double there or not, but I did get Larry. And next, K0KPS Kevin, and WG0N Dave. So if I missed you in that group there, if you come back, I'd appreciate it. Second call for radio amateurs, whose call suffixes begin letters K through O, Kilo through Oscar. Please call now.
Kilo Echo 0, Mike Golf Tango, Don and Aurora.
Kilo Echo 0, Oscar Charlie, Mobile, Tom.
And Net Control, I'd like to acknowledge and welcome the following check-ins. KE0MGT John, and KE0CO Tom. Move on down the alphabet. Radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin letters P through T, Papa through Tango. Please call now.
Correction, it's Kilo Echo 0, Oscar Charlie, OC, not CO. Over.
Kilo Bravo 9er, Quebec Delta Golf, KB 9er, QDG, Carl, Lakewood, no traffic.
Kilo Echo 0, Romeo Victor Zulu, John in Lakewood, no traffic.
November 0, Tango Romeo Papa, Jim in Lakewood. Good evening.
W0TX.
All right, thanks, Tom. I got that straight now, and I read it backwards, I guess. Kilo Echo 0, Oscar Charlie, Tom. And next I had KB9er, QDG, Carl. KE0, RVZ, John. And N0, TRP, Jim. Make one more call for radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin letters P through T, Papa through Tango. Please call now. All right, move on down the alphabet. Radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin letters U through Z, uniform through Zulu. Please call now.
KF0UZ, Marshall and Glendale.
0 Yankee Echo Sierra, Ken in Broomfield.
Kilo Bravo 0 Uniform India Golf. Michael G. Edgewater. No traffic.
Net Control would like to acknowledge and welcome the following check-ins. KF0 UV Marshall. Marshall and Mike seems to be running awful hot. Not sure if you're aware of that or not. Next I had K0YES Ken and KB0UIG Michael. Make one more call for radio amateurs. Whose call suffixes begin letters U through Z. Uniform through Zulu. Please call out. All right, we'll cover the entire alphabet. Radio amateurs whose call suffixes begin letters A through Z, Alpha through Zulu. Please call out.
Kilo Delta 0 Alpha Juliet Tango Mike in Firestone.
And Net Control would like to acknowledge and welcome the following check-ins. KD0 Alpha question mark Tango. Mike, something walked on you right there at that second letter in your suffix. Could you come back with that for me, please?
Alpha Juliet Tango.
Thank you. KD0AGAT Mike and K1DBC Drone. Be a chance for late check-ins a little bit later in the net. And I'd like to at this time invite our club president, Jerry Vilhauer, W0GB, go through and cover club business. Go ahead, Jerry, the net is yours.
All right, Jim, well, thanks for doing that. Welcome, everybody. Not much club business, been pretty quiet. Hope everybody's doing well, staying safe out there, and proceeding to get your vaccinations if you choose to do so. We'll have our program information for our March meeting, which, as Jim mentioned, will be March 17th. And not too much else going on. We're still having issues with our 220 repeater. It's down right at the moment, but we're trying to get that solved. As far as I know, everything else is up and operating. So, anyway, 7-3 to all, and back to you, Jim, W0GB.
All right, thanks, Jerry. Appreciate that. And let's see. WD6, the OK Rich, you had traffic. Go ahead with your traffic.
Yeah, thank you, Jim. Got two questions. I was wondering if anybody has used the website My DX Summit. be curious. Maybe we go offline and talk about it if there's anybody there. And the second question is, last week's presentation, I get the gentleman that presented that, and if he's a club member, that's great. I can look him up in the roster. If not, maybe a phone number or something so I can contact him. Toss it back to you, Jim. WD60, okay.
All right. Rich offhand, his name just escapes me. I know he is a club member, but I was looking here, and I guess I don't have anything. Jerry, can you help out with that question, please?
Yeah, but probably not immediately. Send me an email if you would. The station was asking that, and I will get you a contact information. You can send it to W0TX at W0TX and .org, and I'll get it.
Okay, thank you very much. I'll do that. I looked on the website. I couldn't find anything, but I probably didn't look in the right spot, obviously. But anyway. All right, thank you very much. And be curious. The other question was on DX, and it's a DX website. If anybody's familiar with it. WD60. Okay.
Rich, I'm not familiar with that website, and I guess I didn't hear anybody respond, so I guess no one else is as well. So sorry about that. And I should be able to remember the name of the presenter at the last club meeting, and my mind just went blank. So I'm sorry about that. But he's presented a couple times, so I should be able to remember. But that's what happens when you get older, I guess. Those things bug you. But Jerry can help you with that, so apologize for that. All right, I don't have anyone else that indicated they had traffic. This is the Denver Radio Club Net, W0TX, and this is K0TR Net Control Station. Does anyone have any other comments, information, or business for the net? If so, please call now. Katie. Yes, KD0CGF, go ahead.
So when we were doing the check-ins, I was actually on my way home, and I started thinking, I was curious to know if the DRC does the rebroadcast of the news lines. I used to listen to it, and I haven't kept up with it in a while, and I don't know if we have any nets that do that.
Well, Kenny, I know there are some that do that. I don't know if they still do it. I don't get a chance to monitor many other nets, but as far as I know, there are no Denver Radio Club nets that actually rebroadcast the news line. Maybe somebody else here on the net is familiar with what other nets do that. If so, would they please reply and answer Kenny's question for him, please?
WD60, okay.
WD60, okay, Rich, go ahead.
Yeah, the news line is rebroadcast on Monday nights at, I don't know what time, I think it's 8:30. Anyway, it's on 146940. And let me see here. Yeah, it's on at 8:30. So might check it out. WD60, okay.
broadcast on the CRA at 9 o'clock on Sunday morning.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys. That will help out greatly. I just miss listening to that, especially the late night ones, hanging out in the truck, driving around and listening to it. Thank you. 73s, this is KD0CGF, and I'll turn it back to George, I believe, right?
Okay, it's Jim, but that's fine. You're welcome, and all we have to do is ask if somebody will find an answer here on the net, so appreciate that. I had another bit of information just to pass on. It's a little early, but just so you can mark the calendars. But I mentioned it last Sunday night. But the Lakewood Siren Test, they scheduled that for the 12th of May. So you might mark your calendars. There's much time to pass in that between now and then. And I'm not sure what the situation is going to be with the COVID, so we'll just have to wait and see there. But I mentioned that so you can mark your calendar. And I do not have a date yet from Wee Ridge, but as soon as I get that, I'll pass that on as well. So, all right, make one more call. Is there any other comments, information, or business for the net? If so, please call now. K1DBC, Jerome, go ahead. All right, thanks, Doran. Appreciate that. And Rich, did you copy that?
Yes, I did. Thank you very much, Jerome. And it was W0TX, I believe. Bill Thomas, you said. Is that correct? And when did you say you'll have the video up, or is it up right now? Thank you. WD60, okay, back to net.
Thanks, Jerome. We do appreciate that. All right. Before I move on, make sure we have any other comments or information or business for the net. Please call out. All right. Do we have any late check-ins? Please call now.
This is K9UL, Idaho Springs. Good evening. No traffic.
And Net Control, I'd like to acknowledge and welcome the following check-in, K9UL Steve. And make one more call. Any other late check-ins, please call out. All right, I'll go through and review next weekend's contests and upcoming Hamfests. Let's see, we've got... first one I have on the list is the REF contest. That begins on February the 27th at 0600 hour Zulu, goes through February 28th until 1800 hour Zulu. That's on 80 through 10 meters, and that's a phone contest. Next we have the FTDX contest. Begins on February 27th at 1200 hour Zulu, goes through February 28th until 1200 hour Zulu. That's on 80 through 10 meters, and that's a digital contest. Next, the UBA DX contest begins on February 27th at 1300 hour Zulu, goes through February 28th until 1300 hour Zulu. That's on 80 through 10 meters. That's a CW contest. Next, we have South Carolina QSO Party. Begins on February 27th at 1500 hour Zulu, goes through February 28th until 0159 hour Zulu. That's on 160 through 6 meters. That's a CW phone and digital contest. Next, we have the North American QSO Party, RTTY. Begins on February 27th at 1800 hour Zulu, goes through February 28th until 0559 hour Zulu. That's on 80 through 10 meters. That's a digital contest. Next, we have the North American Collegiate Championship, RTTY. That begins on February 27th at 1800 hour Zulu, goes through February 28th until 0559 hour Zulu. That's on 80 through 10 meters, and that's a digital contest. Next, we have the Classic Exchange. Begins on February 28th at 1400 hour Zulu, goes through March the 3rd until 0800 hour Zulu. That's on 160 through 2 meters. That's a CW contest. Next, we have a high-speed club CW contest. That begins on February 28th at 1400 hour Zulu, goes through February 28th until 1700 hour Zulu. That's on 80 through 10 meters, and that's CW contest. And lastly, we have the North Carolina QSO Party. Begins on February 28th at 1500 hour Zulu, goes through March the 1st until 0059 Zulu. That's on 80 through 2 meters. That's a CW phone and digital contest. As far as Hamfests, I mentioned this one before. It's a virtual Hamfest. It's going to be on March 13th to 14th, and that's the QSO Today Expo, and they have early registration this year. Their early bird tickets are costing $10. If you wait till the day of the event, it costs $12.50. That's a live 2-day period, and then they also allow you to go review those presentations 30 days after. So they have a number of presentations that will be parallel, so you can't possibly listen to all of them as they're presented live. And they say over 60 speakers this year, and they cover a wide area of technical topics. I found the one last fall was quite interesting. Kind of a new offer they have this year is they're going to actually have a live virtual kit building workshop, and they will actually have kits available for purchase and make sure they get delivered to you in time for the expo, so you can actually participate in the expo and build your kit during the expo. So there's a wrinkle for you. Anyways, if you're interested, you might check them out. They're at www.qsotodayhamexpo. That's all one word, qsotodayhamexpo.com. And a couple of reminders. The High Noon Net, they meet daily at 12 noon with early check-ins begin 11:30. They meet on a frequency of 7.240 megahertz, which is on the 40-meter band. And also the Salvation Army Center Net. They meet at 1500 hours Zulu. That's 8 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. and they meet Monday through Saturday on a frequency of 14.265 megahertz on the 20 meter band. The Denver Radio Club maintains the following repeaters for use by all radio amateurs: a 147.330 megahertz with a positive offset, a 145.490 megahertz with a negative offset, a 224.380 megahertz with a negative offset, a 449.350 megahertz with a negative offset, a 448.625 megahertz with a negative offset, a 447.825 megahertz with a negative offset. Our digital turbo repeater operating on Brandmeister on 446.7875 megahertz with a negative offset, and our C4 FM digital repeater on 449.775 megahertz with a negative offset. The 447.825 megahertz repeater is configured for narrowband FM, and that requires a digital coded squelch of 073. There are two repeaters on 147.330 megahertz. The repeater in Lakewood requires a 100 hertz PO tone, and the second repeater located east near Franktown requires a 131.8 hertz PO tone. We have a second repeater on the same frequency out east to improve coverage along the Front Range and into the canyons. Break. Sorry about that. However, having two repeaters on the same frequency that have different frequency propagation, we ask that you monitor the frequency, assure neither is in use prior to making your call. The 449.350 megahertz repeater provides wide area coverage, and this repeater hosts our Echolink station, W0TX, node number 4140. And the 448.625 megahertz repeater is linked with the 145.490 megahertz repeater. The repeater on 449.775 is now a C4 FM digital only repeater. Each repeater requires a 100 hertz PO tone for activation, except as noted, and each uses standard offsets. And for packet, we have the 145.050 megahertz gateway on 2 meters that is interconnected with the 14.105 megahertz gateway on 20 meters for packet QSO. And we have a 6 meter repeater on 53.09 megahertz with an input on 52.09 megahertz with the required 107.2 hertz PO tone. Your support of the Denver Radio Club is greatly appreciated. If you'd like to participate in any of the many club activities, please contact our club president, Jerry Vilhauer, W0GB. And I'd like to thank everyone for checking into the Denver Radio Club Net tonight. Your support is greatly appreciated. I hope y'all have a great week. 7-3. Tonight we had a total of 39 check-ins, and the Denver Radio Club W0TX Net is now closed at 9:21, and repeaters available for regular use. This is K0TR Net Control Station. And please stand by a moment while I return the PO tone to the repeater.
PL on.
And this is K0TR. Good evening, and I will be clear.